Hey guys, this video is going to be over what I want you to do for homework in social studies. As we're nearing the end of the year, there's one really important thing that I want you to be able to do, at least get some practice on, and this is kind of stuff you'll have to do in 6th grade, which is to write an essay. But we'll get to that next week. But what for your homework this week, and this is the only homework you'll have this week. Well, this will be a large part of your homework for this week. You're going to be using these videos and your textbook to help with this homework assignment. And that's what this means. Use multiple forms of media to gather information. That just means using these videos and using your textbooks. Those are multiple forms of media. All right, and you're going to compare and contrast the different rulers that we're learning about. So Hitler, Hirohito, Stalin, and Mussolini. And then eventually we'll get to this part, writing an essay. All right, so this is what I want you to get started on. So you can take like a piece of computer paper or something like that, and you can just create a chart that looks like just like this. You're gonna write these four names up at the top: Stalin, Mussolini, Hitler, and Hirohito. And you're just gonna make a chart just like this. And then you're gonna have to leave another column just like this off to the side. So what I want you to do is that this is going to be a compare and contrast chart, and this is going to help us get our essay started. So again, we're just comparing and contrasting these four guys, and in order to do that, you're going to have to use these teaching videos and the textbook to help you do that. So I wrote down here, use textbook and the teaching videos to help do this. Right. So what you write underneath these four names is going to be a number of different things, and I've given you kind of some examples already. But in this chart right here, this is your question chart, or your questions chart, and I want you to write these questions on this column. You're going to write country, ? Political ideology. Is the leader a communist, a fascist, a national socialist, or an emperor? So you're going to write this stuff down. And you're going to write, how did he rise to power? And write beliefs. So you're going to write all of these questions just like they are on your own chart. Now remember, you are making your own chart that looks just like this. And you're going to answer each of these questions for each one of these four guys. So I did a couple for you. So for example, Mussolini, what country is he from? Well, I'll give you a free one. He's from Italy. And if you read the book and if you listen to the video, that is in there. And then the next question, you're going to answer this next question for each of these four guys. Political ideology is, so all I'm looking for in this question is this person a communist, a fascist, a national socialist, or an emperor? There's only going to be a one-word answer for each of these four guys. So if you look at Stalin, if you read the book and if you watch the teaching videos, is Stalin a communist, fascist, national socialist, or an emperor? Whichever one he is, you're just going to write in this space. Okay? And then Mussolini, you do the same thing. Is Mussolini, which one of these is Mussolini, which one of these is Hitler, and which one of these is Hirohito? Right? And you just write the answer. All right, and then this next one, how did he rise to power? And beliefs. These are going to take a little bit longer because it forces you to look back at those teaching videos, to look back at that, and to reread some of the stuff in the textbook. and you're going to have to answer these questions. How did he rise to power, and the beliefs? So again, this is kind of forcing you to use different forms of media, which is a really useful skill, because that way you don't have to just listen to one source. It's important to compare and contrast different things and what they say. Maybe something I say is different than the textbook. Maybe something that the textbook says is a little bit different than what I say. So that's important to look back at both of those things, because you get the best possible information from those things. And it kind of forces you to see which source may say something a little bit differently. But anyway, you'll have to use the textbook and the video to use to answer that question for all four of these guys. I kind of filled one out for you already. These do not have to be in full sentences. You're just kind of jotting down details. So for example, how did Stalin rise to power? Well, he followed Karl Marx and the Bolshevik Revolution, became a dictator, and he eliminated his enemies. Okay, I kind of got that from the book. So, like, for example, I kind of had to, this section, Stalin's rise to power, I kind of had to look through this whole thing. And I'm just kind of looking at it. I'm just kind of pulling out the main things. So, like this part, Lenin and his followers saw their chance to take over. These men were Bolsheviks. The Bolshevik Revolution brought Lenin into power, and he made Stalin one of the leaders in the new Russian government. So I just said that Stalin was a follower of Marx and the Bolshevik Party. And that's all. I don't have to write full sentences. I'm just writing down little details. But also, this part, one by one, Stalin found ways to get rid of any man who stood in his way, and Stalin became the dictator. I used the textbook to fill that out. And in my video, you could use that, and you could say something like, and this is what I put in the video. You could say something like, the goals for having communism was for property to be owned by the community or by everyone. So that's just an example of how you use the video and the textbook to help answer these questions. And their beliefs, what would be the beliefs of communism? You can use the teaching video and the textbook to help you answer those questions. All right. So for your homework, you're just going to fill out this chart, have this question chart, and you're just going to answer these questions for each one of these people. So for tomorrow, just focus on Stalin and on filling out this chart for Stalin and Mussolini. Okay. And we're not going to have class Tuesday, so you have a couple of days to fill out this section for Stalin and Mussolini. All right. If you have any questions, just email me and I'll help you out. See ya.